provide law enforcement service across the board equally and unbiased. Period. Okay? Did that answer your question? If not, give me the other one and I'll answer that further. That didn't answer both. I think it did.
My mother, presentó con Delta y no criminal records, anything and she's here. She's not here illegally. Would you deport her?
She's not here illegally?
She's not here
No,
illegally.
she does not fall under the three confines that I just explained. No, there is not a hold placed on you. In fact, you must fall, and let me be more clear. I'll address each one. Individuals that are currently being held in 287G, okay, have been convicted of a violent crime or crimes, felony crimes, and those are even narrowed down, specifically drug smuggling and things of that nature, okay, and have been convicted. 2, you're a threat to national security. So if whatever reason there's been intel or they've found that you are planning to do something that is going to hurt the infrastructure of the county, city, or the United States of America, you will be held. Okay? 3, have you been deported numerous times and have come back to this country? Those are the 3. Okay? So
a story of someone who was stopped because of their undocumented immigrant status and were questioned on a traffic stop, and how even though they weren't deported, how that detonation in the David L. Moss, how that affects the overall feeling. So I'd like to really give the space to be able to.
And I'm going to on that note, okay, and I understand that she was not deported, but asked, right, during a traffic stop?
So in that situation that Jose just brought up, yes, the mother of 5 was deported. But in this next situation, it was a traffic stop. Their immigration status was questioned. And then as a result, because they were undocumented, they were brought in to be detained. Okay. So she wanted to share a little bit about it. So.
Quickly, let me just add one more thing. Important to know that I didn't get an opportunity to say my background or anything like that. But just since we're on that subject,
y pues mi esposo no trae, es indocumentado, sinceramente.
And honestly, my husband is actually undocumented.
Y esto afecta físicamente, mentalmente a mis niños.
And this affects physically, mentally, my children.
Porque lo encerraron.
They locked him up.
Y en esta situación nosotros no teníamos suficiente dinero.
And during this time we didn't earn any income.
Porque querían que pagáramos una multa porque
find the money so that my husband could leave.
Porque ya lo habían puesto para deportación.
Because they did put an ice hold on him.
Yo sé que somos migrantes.
And I want to, and I've spoken to many people in the community. There's a way to support that from the law enforcement side. There is. And again, let me make it clear. I support finding a way that makes it less filled with red tape and less problems for people to come here legally. I would support that. I would support, and what I would anticipate as if elected sheriff, is becoming involved in the community much more. I spoke to Francisco. I worked security for Francisco at Cinco de Mayo for many years. And the one thing I never saw there is a booth of either police or the county. They need to be there. Currently, at Tulsa County Sheriff's Office, Hispanics make up less than 2%. Less than 2% of the workforce of Tulsa County. We've got to change that. That is at the bottom, next to the Asian community, who is just slightly under. Those are the things that I want to do as sheriff. Those are the programs that I want to be involved with, our department, the office to be involved with. Okay, so to even insinuate, think it, that I have anything, especially with the Mexican community or immigrants, is false. But at the end of the day, let's be clear. Okay, I do believe in the rule of law and the process in which to come here legally.
Your ad said differently. So you said that you just said that your family is undocumented, but your ad says, "I will fight illegal immigrants."
For those who break the law.
Why? This is personal for me because my family came the right way.
Yes, sir.
So you just said that your family came undocumented.
No, my
but
family
in your
came
ad,
here legally.
Came illegally?
My family came here legally.
Okay. So,
But the reality is that's not easy coming to this country legally. Most of the people outside of the country every single day go to many embassies of USA, and it's so difficult
When we ask for
Very
immigration
difficult.
reform, your Republican friends say no, they're going to close the border first before they do immigration reform.
I would like to comment on what you said, and I want to touch on several different points. You mentioned that your father was a victim of racial profile,
Yes.
and I think that should make it if that 148 inmates have a hold for ICE. Now, 85 of those inmates have a criminal description on them. Other ones do, like the ones who have committed an actual crime. Oh, it's there, and really, it's there. You'll read it. But 85 of them just say hold for ICE. One of them had expired tag hold for ICE. The other one, that was one out of the 85. The other 84 had no description. So where is the transparency on that? And how are we how as a community will we know that those inmates that have hold for ICE are really there for criminal issues?
Okay, let me answer the first part, because you can't make these assumptions without letting me respond. Again, I explained what 287G is, okay? For anybody to think that there's going to be racial profiling outside of those confines, if it happens, report it, just like anything else, and it will be investigated. But within the confines of there, if you're being arrested and breaking the law, and you're being booked, then yes. And you're not here legally, then yes, you will fall under those confines of the 287G. Simply put, again, I cannot make it more clear. Outside of David L. Moss, if you are stopped by a deputy and he says he stopped you because you are Mexican or because you're black or because you're Asian or because whatever reason other than a violation, then I would encourage you to report it. Very much so. So, in other words, no, that program is not going to cause people to go racial profile. You're getting booked on a charge already from whoever arrested you. Okay? Secondly, is in regards to the charges that are listed. Now understand this. Again, remember, the three confines. Have you been convicted? Are you a threat to national security? Or have you been deported more than once? Okay? Now, I don't know, when your biometrics are entered in, if you have a warrant or if you have committed a violent crime in the past that you've been convicted of, let's say you get booked here, okay? And for the tail or red stopping the red light, I think you said it was, that somebody's expired tag, okay? Again, you're going to be interviewed. Your fingerprints, biometrics will be placed into the system, which will go around, okay, into the 287G program. If it shows that you have been convicted of a violent crime or felony, which typically, again, is drug-related, then a hold will be placed on you. Okay? I don't know if they list that specific charge from another state while you're booked here or while you're being held here. I don't know. I will find out, but that I don't know. Okay? But to be held simply on a expired tag and you have not fallen under those three priorities, then they should not be in there. They should not be in there. Okay? And if they are, I don't work for Tulsa County right now. I work for the Tulsa Police Department. I don't know, other than just like him, seeing what is listed. I'm telling you that if I'm elected, that's how that program is supposed to run, and that's how that program will run if I'm elected.
Quick question, just a follow-up.
Yes.
If someone, okay, so you were saying that if someone feels that they have experienced racial profiling, they should report it.
Absolutely.
Do you as the sheriff, because people report things all the time and there's no follow-up, so would you as the sheriff, do you have a way that you would structure that process, or also would you have special training for deputies around racial bias training?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that need to be firmed up, created, fixed, and I believe that that's one of them, is investigating complaints internally as well. I think it needs to be looked at, and again, be fixed, revamped, recreated, one of the three. And when elected, I'll absolutely look at it. But that system should be in place that if you file that type of complaint, okay, it should be followed up, and you should receive a phone call back from the investigator saying, either it didn't happen, we found no evidence of it, or hey, listen, I meant to interview you. Let's get down to the bottom of this, or it happened, and we're taking the following appropriate disciplinary protocol for that interaction.
To kind of go off on what she was saying, I want to ask you this. We all know that unreported crime.
Then, we realize that there's a serious problem. And speaking from our own agency, we have come a million miles by actively recruiting Hispanic, Spanish-speaking officers, bridging that communication gap, reaching out through various programs, and that needs to be done in Tulsa County. That's what I want to do at Tulsa County. Like I just stated, less than 2% of the workforce is Hispanic. We cannot bridge that communication gap if we don't have the people to do it. And I'm not saying that the people there aren't willing or don't want to. I think that's false. There's a lot of great people that are still working there that want to immerse themselves in all communities, reach out, because it does nothing but good for everybody, including law enforcement. And that's why I tell you that if I'm elected sheriff and you call 911 and you are in the county and you receive your law enforcement services from the sheriff's office, okay, they're going to provide that law enforcement service. They're not going to ask you where you're from. We want to provide law enforcement services to all communities, regardless of race.
Do you back down from the campaign?
I don't back down from anything that I've said. I still believe if we're talking about immigration, you need to come here and follow the process. If you're asking me what I have gotten from you, Sheriff, then judge me by my actions. And you absolutely have the opportunity. And fortunately, it's unique at the Sheriff's Office, okay, that it's an elected position. Absolutely. And you can ask many people, in particular, the Hispanic community. One of the things that I would encourage is get the vote out. Become voters. Register to vote and have a voice in politics. Have a voice in politics. I've encouraged that from the beginning, and you can ask people that I've spoken to. Education is big for me. Okay? Let's be blunt here. Again, I care very much, especially because I am Mexican. And so is my father. So is my mother. So is my brothers and sisters. So do I have a passion? Yes. Yes. And one of the many concerns that concerns me, not just here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but everywhere, is that if we do not start to educate ourselves, if we do not become involved in the political process, in 2019 you will be the largest population in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if we continue not to address this issue and to assimilate by educating, by following the process, then we'll be the largest ignorant community in Tulsa. Let's face those facts. We cannot continue to fight amongst each other and we're accused of what I'm going to do with illegal immigrants. I've not backed down, nor will I. You've heard my beliefs on it. But let's talk about what we'll do if I'm elected. And those are the things that are important to me.
So are you in favor of separation of families like hers? Based on what you're projecting to us here, that's what I'm getting from you. That you are in favor of separation of families and that you do not care what they're going through because they came here.
Why did you make that a central piece of your campaign?
Let me go one at a time. To answer your question. No, don't want to separate families. Don't want to separate families, okay? according to 287G, if you are not committing crime,